Welcome! My name is Jason Jacobs. Thanks for coming in. Shout out to my students out there. I thought we could practice the percent equation today. The percent equation before the big coronavirus affected us and we're all quarantined in our homes, we were learning the percent equation. You're either missing the part, the whole, or a percent. So if you're missing the part, you would do the whole times the percent as a decimal. Any of these, this could be a fraction, this could be a decimal, or you can use the percent. But I tend to convert the percents to a decimal. So if you're missing the part, you do the whole times the percent, or commutative property, you do the percent times the whole. If you're missing the whole, you do the part divided by the percent as a decimal. And if you're missing the percent, you do the part divided by the whole. And that will equal a decimal, which can then be converted to a percent. Hey, we're gonna try these in just a moment, but you can also do a proportion way, and I really like this proportion way. It says percent over 100, so whatever percent it is, you put it over 100, because percent means per cent, like per 100. And of course, a fraction is a part over a whole. Now, the word is will indicate part, and the word of will indicate whole. So you want to ask yourself, am I missing the part, the whole, or the percent? Hey, we got 3 examples here. You can pause the video and try them if you'd like. Just go ahead and get right on into this. I'll make a bunch of these videos so you can practice along. What is 20% of 40? Okay, let's break this down. What is 20%? So percent, we have that. So we have the percent. So it's not gonna be this one we use. Of 40. Now this was a key word, right? Of 40. Of indicates that that 40 is the whole. So 40 is the whole, which therefore means we are missing the part. So if I were to set up a proportion for this, the proportion would look like this. Percent over 100, which is 20 out of 100, and that equals something out of 40. Now it doesn't just jump right out at us, does it? So a couple things you can do. You can cross multiply and divide, making an equation, or reduce this to the lowest terms. Well, 20 over 100 equals 1/5, and 1/5 equals x out of 40. 5 times 8 is 40, and 1 times 8, because whatever you do to the denominator, you got to do to the numerator, equals 8. So this answer, the missing part, is 8. That's using a proportion. They could also use the percent equation. And the percent equation will do the whole times the percent as a decimal. So 40 times 20%, which is 0.2. 40 times 0.2, well, that equals 8. And you're allowed to put that in the calculator. Hey, here's a model just to make sense of it. So of 40 means the 40 goes here, that's the whole. And we're missing the part, which goes right here. This is 0. So 0 to 40. And we're going by fifths, because 20% is 1/5, 40% is 2/5, 60% is 3/5, and 80% is 4/5. And 5/5, of course, is 100%, or 1. So you can now figure it out. You can divide by 5 and get your answer right away of 8. And then 40% of 40 would be 16. 60% of 40 would be 24. And 80% of 40 would be 32. So this model should help you a lot understand the concept of what's going on with like this part and whole thing. So now let's go on to number 2. 2 reads, 5 is 25% of what number? Let's break this down. What are we missing? Are we missing the part, the whole, or the percent? What do you think? Well, 5 is, let's look at this. 5 is indicates part. So we know we're not missing the part. 25%, well, that indicates percent. Of what? Of what means we are missing the whole. So the proportion way is 5 over something, 5 over something, we don't know, equals 25%, which is 25 per 100. 5 times what is 25? Well, multiply by 5. or 25 divided by 5 to get the relationship. So what times 5 is 100? Well, we could divide by 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20, so we get x is 20. So 20 is the missing whole. Now, we're missing the whole, so you could also do, you don't have to do both ways. I'm just showing you both ways. You could also do the percent equation, which is the part divided by the percent as a decimal. Now, in some calculators, you can type in 5 divided by 25%. Some calculators don't have the percent key, so I just make it 0.25. 5 divided by 25 hundredths, or 0.25 tenths hundredths, and that equals, of course, 20. Now, 1 is what percent of 2? Well, what are we missing? The part, the whole, or the percent? Well, let's break it down. 1 is the part. What percent, that's what's missing, of 2. Of indicates whole. So we're missing the percent. So we have the percent, let's say x out of 100 equals 1 out of 2. So let's find the relationship here. 100 divided by 50 is 2. So what divided by 50 is 1? Well, that's right, 50. So x here is equal to 50 out of 100. So 50 out of 100 equals 50%. Therefore, 1 is 50% of 2. That makes sense because 1/2 is 50%, or 5/10. It's equal to 5/10 too. Hey, I hope you learned this percent equation really, really well. I'm really sorry that we couldn't practice it more because there's a lot I want to show you, like the 10% rule and how we can use it for tips and interest and percent increase and percent decrease. There's percent of a number you're just going to use the rest of your life. So with that said, learn it well. And I'm just going to teach again. I'm going to erase this and go again.